Now we can discuss about good topic, that is in database development. What are the important things we should learn being a developer? That a developer may be a database administrator or basic programming developer, whatever it may be. Especially relating to database, what we should learn before going to the software company. And if suppose if you selected as a software developer for any company, first these six topics you should learn. That is creating a database, creating a table, updating a table, and view a table, and delete a table, sorting, sorting a table, and indexing a table. These 6 points, if you learn clearly, then you will be a successful database administrator. So how to do that and how to learn that? Suppose your selected programming, maybe so many databases are there. That is MySQL is there, Oracle is there, MySQL and SQL is there. So many languages are there, but slight differences will be there. System query language SQL, that is slightly different to the MySQL, and likewise so many languages. Oracle, it will also have some slight syntax differences, but concept is the same, only the syntax is different. If you know all these syntaxes correctly, then you can become a good developer. So even if you are master in database also, suppose any task if you get in MySQL means previously you are doing in SQL, but now you have to do in MySQL means some syntax differences will be there. You will be habituated to the previous SQL language. Then while doing to the new project in MySQL means some slight syntax differences will be there. By that time you should not confuse, so that you should maintain a personal folder with your name, and that in your personal folder also database programs. In that you should maintain a notepad. In that all these 6 mantras if you maintain, you will become a successful database administrator. What are those is, first add record to the table, and update record to the table, and view record to the table from the table, and delete one record from the table, and sorting. Fifth one is sorting, how to sort the data, and index. What is the main difference between index and sorting is, indexing means indexing will give one system of processing. It will not physically, it will not disturb the position of the records. It will be the same. But in case of in indexing, that is suppose index ID wise, name wise, date of birth wise, and department wise. Likewise, you can do indexing. At the time of indexing, it will not that database will not change the position of the record. But in case of sorting, it will change the position of the record also. So we should be very careful before sorting everything. So that is the main difference between index and sorting. So these 6 mantras, if you know very well, you are king in database administration. Those are: add an element, add a record to the table, and modify a record to the table, and view a table from the record, and delete a record, one record from the table, and sort one table and index one table. So you can do multiple indexes, but sorting should be done in only one process only, that is for ID base or name base or department base. If you do likewise, you will be successful database administrator. But how to get? Suppose your task is being a MySQL database, and you are a database administrator that time how to do? How to get all these syntaxes means, go to Google search. In Google search, create a table in MySQL, syntax, that is the only enough thing. Then it will give hundreds of lines in that compact way, in a systematic way. One record you can select, one text you can select it, and copy that syntax, that is creating a table. Create a table, create a record in a table. That is if you select it and write it, copy it in Notepad, and systematically you can frame up that at the time of copying, upward 2 lines and downward 2 lines will come. All these things you should clear it, and basically clearly you should be there. Create a table, create a record in a table. How to do it? That is, you can copy it in MySQL. Likewise, modify, update, then that is update, and delete, and view, sort, and index. If you know all these 6 syntaxes, you can get it very well in Google search, and copy and paste it in your notepad in only one notepad file. If you know all these 6 steps, you are the king in the database. You can do very well easily without any mind struggle and a logical struggle. Once if you know all these things in your free time, at the lunch time, or after the lunch time, or evening before going, that always you should, being a database administrator, all these 6 syntaxes you should by heart, because your profession is a database administrator. You want to settle as a database administrator. So all these 6 syntaxes, if you by heart it in simple notepad, only 6 lines should be there. More than 6 lines you need not by heart it. If you type all these 6 lines and by heart it, then you will be the king in database. King in database, you can do very well, happily, independently, without any doubt. So all these things, you should maintain one table or the file in your personal folder with the subfolder name is database. In that database folder, this notepad should be there. That is also database syntax. That is, you can write it, then you can copy all these things. Naming convention is also most important. You may have different names. For first time you may forget, remember it, but for the later timings you may forget it. So always you should maintain a very good naming convention. If you maintain that personal folder, you can say to your team leader or project manager, whatever it may be, dear sir, for all these things I am keeping for logical worries, to avoid logical worries. Suppose if you give in MySQL, these databases means how to run the database and to execute means all these things I should know. So if syntax is there, it is easy. So that I am preparing a node file also in this. Likewise, you can say, likewise SQL and Oracle, whatever it may be. Slight differences will be there to database, but the syntax differences will be there, but the concept is the same in every database. If you are having all these in notepad, you will be successful database administrator, and we can do very well without any doubt, smoothly. So this is the information I want to share with you. Wishing you all the best.